we are going to look at games where you get to play as an immortal bloodsucker. But do not worry, because there will be no glitter in sight as we discuss the 3 best vampire games. And it's almost impossible to talk about vampire games without thinking of Bloodrayne. Rain is a vampiric vixen who is a product of the time she was created. This third-person hack-em-up screams 2003, with the titular agent Bloodrayne clad in skin-tight leather, shoulder-length gloves and bright red hair. Playing as Rain, you have been trained by the government to stop the Nazi menace and their occult experiments. To help in your task, you get access to 2 huge blades mounted on your forearms, guns, and a dramatic range of acrobatic skills. Your nimble movement allows you to cartwheel and pirouette past enemies that range from zombies to Nazis, incidentally both of which get you great Scrabble scores. One of Rain's more unique abilities is that she wraps her legs around her foes and gets up close and personal to drain their blood, a skill that also recovers her health. The adventure takes you from a flooded Louisiana through Argentina and even Germany as Rain battles the forces of evil. It may look dated, but the speed and fluidity of combat still make this an entertaining action game. Plus, Bloodrayne remains one of the most iconic vampires in gaming. The original game spawned 2 further titles and no less than 3 movies, although the less said about these Uwe Boll directed abominations, the better. Set years after the events of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver sees a world in which humanity has been all but wiped out and Kain rules over the vampires in Nosgoth. Selecting 5 lieutenants to help him rule over the lands, the vampire overlord's rule is absolute. You play as one of his lieutenants, Raziel, who one day becomes blessed and sprouts wings. Jealous, Kain rips his wings and casts Raziel into the Lake of the Dead. A millennium passes and Raziel lays forgotten until the Elder God resurrects him to kill Kain. Yay, vengeance story! What follows is a fantastic third-person adventure. Raziel must use all of his vampiric and new Soul Reaver skills to solve environmental puzzles and defeat the monstrous evils that stand between him and vengeance. You must make use of his broken wings to glide, hand-to-hand combat skills which now include a glowing blade that sprout from his arm, and various other abilities to progress. But the most standout element of Soul Reaver is how the world shifts as you use Raziel's powers to move between the real and the spirit world. Differences between the 2 environments are slight, but the spirit areas are warped, making traversal different and allowing you to reach new areas as well as creating new and different dangers. Despite some mechanical elements dating Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, these shifts between spirit and real world keep it feeling exciting to this day. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines provides a slightly more involved vampiric experience than most other games offer. Set in the vampire-filled underworld of modern LA, circa 2004, you play as one of Dracula's extended family tree. As a first or third person RPG, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines divided critics and fans when it released. The gameplay was stiff, struggling to live up to the promise of the immediacy and brutal combat of a first person action game. However, the story and characters were spot on, and while technical elements would have aged with the game, the writing has not. This writing permeates the whole experience of Bloodlines. From the beginning, you can either choose to build your own character or have one created for you by answering a range of appropriate questions. These determine your starting stats and dictate your character's powers. There are also 7 clans to align with. From the deformed Nosferatu to the aristocratic Venture, the clan you side with delivers a range of advantages and disadvantages to your character. For example, joining the deformed Nosferatu will see you need to stay hidden from humans in the shadows and sewers, but you receive buffs for intelligence skills. From there, it's up to you to find quests set by various NPVs, that's non-player vampires, which lead you into battle against mortals and other vampires as you discover more of the plot. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines' technical issues have been well documented, but these were never the draw. That was the plot and writing, both of which remain as sharp as ever and mean that this game is still as engrossing an RPG for vampire fans as it ever was. Okay, that's it for this week. We'll be back with 3 more games next week. Until then, remember to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you next time.